Well, hello there, Kansas City. Stephen St. John here with another episode of Hot Mic with SSJ. What fucking number is this? We like
1,1700.
Always number 69.
16? Numbers? I did not think it would last this long. It's episode number 16, Hot Mic with SSJ. We have a star-studded lineup. Of course, I'm your host. We have our regulars in Todd Lebo and Jake Gutierrez. And we have a returning guest that has been wanting to be a part of a podcast with Jake.
I want they.
And it's Nick Leckie, former K-State All-American, Super Bowl champ with the New Orleans Saints, played for the Cardinals, played for the Rams, and sometimes plays with himself.
Hey! I stopped doing that.
You're excited about that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that. Hey, easy now. We got to ease into
going
this
right
stuff.
into this thing.
Nate Bucatey's not here.
Gave up porn, too.
Because Nate ate a can of Skyline chili, and now he has the shits. And so he won't be here for this episode. Now
He didn't finish it.
Can you still? I made you taste a little bit of it. That smell.
Oh God.
That stench is still in the air. How would you just? I'm not kidding. I still smell it now, and I had a couple of bites of it. Have you ever had Skyline chili?
Fuck no.
If I pop this can, would you like it? Can I spoon feed you?
Don't open it.
Jake's body will evaporate. Jake's body will evaporate.
I thought about that.
All those things.
I thought about that. I said
all the toxins.
Because Marco, our good friend down the hall, asked me about, did you try it? And I said I wouldn't try that for $1,000, and I don't think I would.
Yeah.
No.
Hold on.
You know what?
No, I don't think $1,000.
You're gonna watch.
You know what would happen?
Check $1,000 out right now.
You know what would happen if you fucking ate this? You'd become a man again.
You know what? Fuck you.
You turn from a hippie to a man.
I don't know why. Because
I'm a spirit soul
this is a pop
being.
top.
It's a general-
I want to open this and I
general
want to fucking drink it right here on this.
God, dude, I might leave.
Do it.
Dude, I might leave. I might seriously.
He's got his notes. I'm
thinking about it. Now we've got some time
You
here.
can put a PowerPoint
but I'm
together.
considering opening this. What happened? Where's my beer?
Dude.
You're like,
drinking my beer.
Wait till the end.
You're
Wait till
like
the end, please. I mean, because it is fucking.
But I'm thinking at some point,
terrorist.
pop it up. And just,
Okay, then just don't do it right at the beginning, man. Like that shit is fucking disgusting.
I read a story about Yasser Arafat he was in negotiation with like the UN or something like that in the 90s, and he came in on a helicopter ride. He came in on a helicopter ride, and the whole time he had his hands in his pockets. And then as soon as he landed and he got to safety, it was with UN envoy, he pulls out his hands and he goes, "Can you help me put the pins back in these grenades?"
Bullshit.
I swear to God.
What?
I read it somewhere, like one of those things.
fuck?
That's
yeah,
great.
Right? But yeah,
That's a
isn't
good
that
move.
crazy? It's
All
a
right.
power move. So that is your
grenade.
for
pinpoint.
Jake. If he gets
how many
off the
calories
rails,
are in this can?
I saw it for the
sodium.
400 and
There's no
something.
calories.
But how many
Sodium.
servings? But how many servings?
2.5 probably.
per,
12.
per serving's $2.50, but for the whole can is $4.30.
That's really not that bad.
It's a serving and a half.
In high school, I used to eat the because my mom and stepdad would leave for the summer, so I'd have the whole place to myself. for the
Smart
summer.
move.
I would eat a legit the Duggar size thing of SpaghettiOs with
You said
meatballs.
the Duggar size.
You know, and with the teaspoon.
Yeah.
The teaspoons,
Oh
like
God, yeah.
See, this could be a good
yeah.
lunch. Just
Yeah. Oh yeah.
open
The
this
long,
and
the
eat it.
you're
long,
out there,
long, small, skinny spoons.
Yeah.
If you're just out there
that's
riding
great.
the rails, you make yourself a little fire,
Right.
open that up, and just set it on a little rock next to
So
it. Heat it up.
we made
Like Blazing Saddles, right?
yeah.
Jake and Nate prepared this, and Nate.
That's my favorite when I was a
I
kid.
told Nate earlier this week. I said, "Would you eat a full plate of this fucking Skyline chili to guarantee a Chiefs victory on Sunday?" And so Nate said, "Yeah, I'd do it." So then, as I was saying that, Jake got on Amazon and ordered a 4-pack
Yep.
of this shit. How much did the 4-pack cost?
$30.98.
You want the government knowing you like Amazon, you like Skyline?
Oh,
chili?
yes, I would actually.
But that's the best
Does the
part.
pasta-
This is
does the pasta
$30.
Come with it? No, it's $6.
No, it's just straight 4 cans.
Do you think it was worth it for
No.
$30? 4 cans of this?
Ask Nate.
Does that
He
make you
couldn't even
mad?
show
Well,
up.
I'm writing it off for taxes. We're talking about it here. We talked about it on the radio show. It's getting written off.
$7.25 a can. No
You're
more
still
than that.
paying taxes?
$7.50 a can.
For now, I am.
It's good. It's good shit.
Not for long, though, motherfuckers.
Okay.
You are going to get so locked
My
up.
language is just atrocious.
I know.
today.
There's no need.
I
Yes,
know.
there is.
Cuss when it's natural. Don't
Come
force
on.
it.
No, I'm not forcing it, but I just feel like I'm trying. I need to
It
get.
feels natural.
I'm trying to balance my meridians.
All right,
here.
so I normally like to start the
All right, what's in his hand?
podcast and talk about the TV. We'll get to that.
Let's
We'll get to that thing. That looks like that has been up someone's ass. I can tell you that right now.
These are very delicate.
Okay, well, so is an ass.
No.
I
yours.
usually start talking about TV shows and what we're watching.
Nope.
And so my God, this is like a golden age of television all happening at once, because last Sunday, Billions premiered, the new season of Billions. Last Friday, the new season of Ozark premiered. 1883 is going strong right now. And Euphoria, which again, let me tell you, if you have teenage kids, especially girls, don't watch Euphoria or it will scare the fuck out of you. It is so graphic. It embarrasses me to watch it, yet I continue to watch it. Lebo loves it.
So my daughter,
I like Fez and Ash, by the way.
22, tapped out after like an episode and a half. She said, "This is too much."
Is this the one with Zendaya?
Yeah.
Because it's real?
Well, not real to like where my kids went to high school, but I guess it's real somewhere in the world.
I can't even describe to you what's on there. You got to fucking watch it.
It's disturbing.
It is fucking disturbing.
This is some of the life that Jake used to live.
But it's terrific.
Oh,
oh yeah.
I think I'm
when I
gonna stay
watch
away
this,
from
I
it.
think of Jake.
Hey,
like this is what he used to do.
I still think of that movie
makes me
Kids.
wanna watch it.
I still think of the movie Kids when I think of like teenagers.
I'm gonna do
You
it.
remember the movie
I'm gonna
Kids?
do it.
This
Yeah.
is like
Oh God!
You know what?
Butterscotch,
You know
yo.
what? That's
Butterscotch, yo.
not a bad comparison, but it's worse.
or if you're
Way worse.
if you're as old as me,
I don't like calling the movie. It's so gross.
Less than zero.
Less than Zero is Robert Downey
And he was
Jr.
actually going through
that was
some shit, too.
fantastic.
Yeah,
I
Jim
love that
Spader.
movie.
But that is actually a good film.
Rich kids
Great.
in L.A.
Well, this is a very well done show, but it is.
Oh, dude.
I mean, it's like too
Zendaya
much.
is fantastic. I mean,
I mean, I
know.
love her in Dune. I can't wait for the next.
but some of the
Dune to come
scenes
out.
of drug use and everything else. It's. I mean,
I've seen
it's
it.
Look at the
Enough of
flexibility
that.
here.
Is
what's the
Zendaya?
song?
Is that Tom Holland's best friend or
it is.
girlfriend? What
Yeah.
are they? Are they lovers?
They're
Are they
they're
friends?
lovers. They're boyfriend
Hotness.
girlfriend.
She's
They're
in it,
awesome.
and there's another girl who's in it who's a trans
Hunter Schafer.
person who was a boy going to girl,
Fez is the best.
and then Fez
Why do you always tell me
this
that Jake
guy-
reminds you of the character Cal?
and the kid named Ashtray,
Ash.
Fez
Fez and
I'm
Ash,
so
baby.
out.
Okay.
and
I
these
have no clue what you're
girls,
talking about.
Cassie.
So that's
And,
so that's very good. But then the other show
You're okay.
that is current right now that started a new season a couple of weeks ago, and I think now I do believe it's the funniest show on TV currently is The Righteous Gemstones, and I fucking love it.
That would be a good
and I
lineup.
can't
Hilarious.
get
so
enough
good.
of it.
I love the play
So
on
good.
like religion, especially with like Joel Osteen, the mega preacher.
That guy's a fucking douchebag.
Getting popped, not popped, but like avoiding taxes.
Well, they found
and has,
$600,000
Like in his walls.
So
I'm going to tell you this.
I'm gonna tell you what I watched last
I
night.
think Danny McBride
That's a-
right now is the funniest man
He's
in the world.
hilarious.
Cosign. Yes.
He's
think he
very
is.
funny.
Yeah.
And
Everything
Everything he does is hilarious.
that
to
Kenny
me.
Powers, man, that
Fuck
first,
yeah. It's like Kenny Powers as a televangelist.
He
basically.
took Will Ferrell's spot. Like that guy, that used to
Yeah.
be Will Ferrell.
Anything that
He's-
Danny McBride does, I'm in. I want to watch it.
So
It's fantastic.
just last night, I watched. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's on HBO Max right now. It's a film about Tammy Faye Baker.
I saw that on there. I
So
didn't watch
Andrew
it, though.
Garfield is Jim Baker,
Right.
and Jessica Chastain is Tammy.
I'll
Faye
watch that.
Baker.
I love Jessica.
And it is so I remember them being on TV when I was a kid, and you'd see them, and all the controversy with taxes and Jim Baker supposedly with Jessica
have
Hahn,
sinned.
all that
He
stuff.
cried.
So
It's real.
So I didn't even really realize that he used to work for Pat Robertson on the 700 Club. That's who
Yeah.
started the show. All this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all in the same.
And who was it? Jessica Hahn?
Jessica Hahn,
was
who ended
his-
up being in like Motley Crue videos or something before that. It was like all crazy.
Yeah.
So this thing,
Nuts.
it is the Righteous Gemstones is this fucking show.
That's
It's-
what-
Oh
You
yeah,
gotta get
absolutely,
right to
absolutely.
TV.
Straight out of the 700 Club.
right.
they're talking about making TV shows and they want to have a network. And what this season of Righteous Gemstones, no spoiler here, they're trying to make a resort. And they were selling, Jim Baker was selling fucking timeshares. That's what
And
got
Eric
him.
Andre's
fuck
in
yeah.
it. You like Eric Andre? The Eric Andre show, he's in it.
Yes, I like
And
that.
seeing my favorite
great.
character, well, you know what? The sister, she's the best.
Dude,
She is
she's
the best.
Like her game this season has just gone up a level.
She's one of the writers. She's
If
one of the
she's-
head writers.
I love writers on the show.
Right.
If I
That's
could
awesome.
find BJ's outfit for his baptism,
You'd look good in that.
would you wear
With
that
your
for
legs.
$1,000?
yes.
So the other
If we're
thing
talking
is-
about clothing, I'll put anything.
but
on.
I've been waiting because from last year, my
Anything.
favorite character was Uncle Baby Billy.
He came back,
And he
baby.
came back finally, and he has a son named Harmon.
Harmon.
Yeah, this is gonna be You ain't never gonna forget this Christmas. And they're walking around the mall in the 80s. He goes,
fucking
"You gotta buy
pet store?
I'll buy you something. Any store you want to go to.
You're a cat
Where
boy.
you want to go? Chess King, a Sam Goody
Sam
record?
Goody.
Wait,
Sam Good, I love it. Remember
Right.
with the big plastic like.
You go to the fucking pet store and this kid's looking at these dogs.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
the kid
Are you a
doesn't-
dog person or a cat person, Harmon?
He just looks over at this cat. Go wrap that cat up.
As soon as I
And then he just leaves. And he puts some fucking Patrick Mahomes Oakleys on this fucking kid. And he left.
leaves
Yeah.
the kid.
We had
It's
a
like
leather jacket on.
It's like an origin story of baby Billy.
Oh, Jesus.
And as soon as I saw him and that scene with Harmon, I said, Lebo's dying laughing right now. So you got to watch this. Okay, so
All right, I'll watch that.
that's what we're
That's
watching.
worth it. That's worth it.
Way Down Under. Hey, Way Down Under is another documentary that was scary.
What's
It's
that
about the woman. They just recently died in a plane crash, but she had this like kind of cult religion based off of dieting, and that was kind of like the religion. It was like
sounds like Jake.
pray the sin away,
man.
or like get the sin away, and it was like it's called Way Down Under. She's a lady with she was tiny and the big old hair.
I'd like to watch. What's that?
Way Down Under.
But what's it on? What stream?
Something.
Channel? Okay, well there you
Yeah, it's on.
hey,
it's on.
go. It's on something.
It's on the internet.
I promise you that.
DuckDuckGo.
Now listen. So first, Nick, why were you so anxious and excited to be on one of these podcasts with Jake when we talk about a little bit of everything? Hot Mic with SSJ is brought to you by our good friend Patrick Carter, KCFarmersAgent.com. That's where you go. Click Contact Me to request a quote, or you can call or text him at 913-248-8861. If you're sick of using a website or 800 number to ask questions or price scenarios for your insurance, you need to go local. Patrick Carter is a local agent with almost 20 years of serving the Kansas City market. Thank you, Patrick Carter, for being a wonderful sponsor of Hot Mic with SSJ.
Kata.
Why did this catch your eye or ear?
To me, and we talked about this first time we were in here back in 2012 when I first moved here and I did an episode with you. I'm like, dude, we need to have and there was no term like podcast. Maybe it was back in the day.
Sure.
But it was like, dude, we need to do something. Do a show that's like about bullshit and about culture and about nonsense. Something for you guys to have an outlet for sports and something for me to have an outlet not sports. Because I'm like the least sports person you know, right? The least. And I like all the other shit. Like give me like Deadspin or give me whatever. Give me like the nonsense.
Now,
That's what I want.
I do have to say this.
Culture. I want culture.
I do have to say this. All three of us, besides Lebo, have Mexican blood in us.
Yeah.
You need to be initiated.
You don't know.
And so
We'll cut you.
We're going to cut you.
We're blood in, blood out.
We're going to cut you. Blood in, blood out.
That's right.
Bound by
Vatos locos
honor. Are you
forever.
ready for this?
Sure.
What part of the body? What
I
part of the
know.
body do you want us to cut?
We cut our hands, don't
You
we?
still got foreskin?
You get a knife?
Manos.
You still have foreskin.
No.
Do you?
Let's make sure. I mean, if we're gonna cut you,
What?
What the fuck is Ben doing back here? Are you in on this thing? I don't know what's going on.
I'm just saying.
Cut, he wants in.
I mean,
He wants in.
Okay, you want in.
it's a fair question.
I'm in.
You're never out.
Sangre.
You'll never fucking out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you wanted to come in here and do this. So now,
Yeah.
right off the bat, when I'm trying to start this thing, you said something to Nick.
Yes.
What did you say that caught his attention?
What about masturbation?
Okay,
Yes.
again, not
And
safe
porn.
for work.
Or were we talking about?
If you're
are we talking
listening
about-
to this and you might figure it out,
we talked
it's
a lot-
safe for the kids.
a lot of things with
no, you
Beavis
just
and
said,
Butthead.
you just said you don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you give it up? How long has it been?
I mean, like porn or jerking off.
Either.
Jerking off first.
I mean, look, I'm a human, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. of
So
course, okay.
it's been.
Are you?
Okay, that's all you had to say.
It's been months.
What?
Like months.
How about your sexual activity?
Let's not. Come on.
We're stopping there.
We're not talking. Right. We're not
Give
talking
up the
about.
Okay,
porn
so-
at the same
But
time.
no porn. I haven't watched
Regardless,
porn
we'll get-
since July of.
But that's fine. But
Last year.
the other part. So is that an
21,
effort? Why are you doing that?
21.
Why are you not pleasuring yourself?
Okay. I mean, we want to go down this hole.
Hey, does Christmas
No,
vacation
it sounds
count
like
as
you don't want to
porn?
go
I
down.
mean, I'll
any
go
hole.
down this
Hey,
hole, but
hey.
there's a lot to it. I mean, and
Christmas
I want to
vacation-
be. I want to be serious when we talk about.
I'm going to ask them.
It's being serious.
Do you want Jake to answer the question?
Because we're gonna get deep into this shit.
Well,
Absolutely.
This Nick is the guest of honor. Do you want to know why he no longer pleasures?
I can make it short. I can make
I-
it short, or we can get in the weeds.
I would like long story short. That's what I like for this topic.
Okay, so
Don't yada yada.
no,
this
I won't.
thing.
I won't. Okay, so I'll leave the societal.
mentioned the biz.
I'll leave the societal portion out.
Right.
Right. We won't get into that.
This is
part,
about you.
Right. We'll talk about. Okay, you three gentlemen are fathers, correct? Mm-hmm. And so I'm not. That you guys know of.
Right.
So I would say the most powerful thing, the biggest thing that you guys have
My
done.
seed.
Well, you've created a human soul. You've created life.
Donated, wife.
Right.
Women do the.
Well,
the
Right.
baking.
no. But it like your portion.
Yeah.
You like that life's not created without you.
That's correct.
Right. So the most powerful thing that you've done in your lifetime, and don't let me put words in your mouth, is create a human soul, a human life that has a soul in it.
And a social security number. Yes.
No, we're not going.
No,
there.
boy. This
So,
don't.
right. So let's just do the math. It's basic math.
Yeah. Hold
So if that's the most
math.
if that's the
I'm
most
listening.
powerful
Write this
thing,
down.
if
Math.
that's the most powerful thing that you've done as a man,
Yeah.
what fluid created that? Your semen. Correct. All right.
You gotta let him answer that. You gotta-
No, I
you
was
know.
rhetorical.
Yeah, you sure did. Okay.
I think I'm
To make sure you know what's going on
yeah,
here, Nick.
just to make sure you understand.
I didn't know
Grade
this was a
biology.
verse of
So
bees.
the most powerful thing that your body creates is semen, right? So
Wait, hold on. Is it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going through my mind, like thinking
Okay.
of all the fluids in my body.
Don't
that
gaslight
is
him.
the
Let
most
him
I'm
answer.
powerful.
not. I'm
It's the only one that can create a life.
What if
Yeah.
I was O negative blood? I could save a life, but I couldn't create a life.
Right, you could save a life, but
So that would be the most powerful. Would be your semen.
you couldn't create it with your blood.
Well, you could Jurassic Park DNA.
Well, no, well, we're talking about basic
Yeah, I know.
human
Yes,
anatomy,
yes.
sex.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So with that in mind,
Yes.
I don't want to be just throwing that powerful fluid everywhere.
It says that's
You could, yeah.
I'm saying
You can jerk off without throwing
With
it
the
everywhere. By the
Travis
way,
Kelce.
you know.
The
That's-
Travis Kelce
You're
gift.
going from A to Z real fast.
No, I
here.
like that.
Okay, look. Those of us that do this, we don't walk around throwing it everywhere.
But
like from Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Oh man.
but
love this.
theoretically, you are throwing it away. You are
Righteous
you're
Gemstones
wasting
call
it.
back.
Says
right?
Old Testament. There's like a verse in the Old Testament.
By
says,
the way-
do not waste your seed on the ground.
Right? No,
It's a
absolutely.
legit-
I think we need more
Old
stories.
Testament
How exactly were you jerking off back
It's
in the
amazing.
Same way I talk, apparently, everywhere. So my point being is that
Okay.
it's called semen retention.
Oh.
right? And so I can move that fluid throughout my body.
Okay.
Wait,
No, hold on. Now you
Okay.
may have gotten out of the
Time
book.
out on the field. What did you say?
That fluid's in my body, right?
Well, sure it is.
I can move that fluid throughout my body.
What does that mean?
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
I can move it up my spine.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of Kundalini rising?
Can you put it in your left?
Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold
but-
on. That almost went sideways.
You know, no, stop it. You see, you can't overload us with information. You gotta wait. No pun intended. No overload. Listen to me.
He's right though. All this stuff is in the Bible.
Okay, that's fine.
that's
that's
not.
fine.
Not that you can put
No,
your
what he says
jizz in your
fine.
back.
But you're saying
No, you can move your fluid.
But
No, you can't.
And
Why would
what
you
you're
boil it
saying,
down like that?
semen retention, fine. Of course, but now you just said that you can move the semen up your
I can
spine.
I can harness that energy, that power.
Well, energy, but you're not moving the semen into your back.
Well, the semen has a vibration, right?
No, I don't.
Well, you mean everything has a fucking vibration. Everything has a vibration, or it's not matter.
You fucking asked for this, by the way.
Everything has a vibration, or it's not matter.
If that's what you say.
No,
sure.
that's what fucking Newton's law says.
So you go with Newton's law, but not an anatomy book that says your jism stays in the ball sacks and doesn't connect to your spinal
I'm
fluid.
talking about the energy of the fucking
Okay,
semen.
so you
Todd.
can move energy.
Yes,
But not
Well,
the
you're not
actual
moving semen.
I'm not moving.
You don't
the
have
purpose?
semen flowing through your
What's the
veins right now.
purpose?
No, I don't.
Well, that's
I
what
don't.
you made it sound like.
What's the purpose?
To harness that energy, to move that energy throughout my
You're
body.
not like fucking
For what?
Spider-Man with
To
a
lift-
web
to lift
shooting you
something
to
heavy,
shit.
just to harness your
to move it up my spine, up my energy centers, to enlighten my mind, to be able to think
so look,
clearly.
so
It's unharnessed energy.
Let me
Like,
break this down to basics. Okay, like it's kind of a folklore or whatever else, but there were a lot of fighters back in the day when they're
Absolutely.
in training camp and say, okay, no sex.
No
You can't have
sex,
sex.
right.
Weakened
And that was a real
leg.
thing.
No, absolutely.
And they say weakened legs, but no, it was like, but it was more like
Thank you.
building up strength
energy.
and also
Harnessing-
anger, and it just you know.
It's a human creating energy.
So that anyone that's ever fought has heard that, and has
experienced
either done it or not done it.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, I did when
There's
I fought.
a difference, right?
Yeah, there is.
Hey, I had sex one time on a game day, and we had a night game. It was a preseason, and I got injured.
Yeah,
my legs,
did
were,
you really?
my legs were legit tired. Like, my
I'll
legs
say
were legit
in high school,
tired.
I did that.
And
I did that
hurt
one time.
Broke my ankle.
I did that
Did you
one
do a
time. It's
standing
the only loss we had all year long, and I had a horrible game.
What happened? Did you have sex the night before?
Right before? No, I'm like hours before.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm talking
Were
like.
you weaker? Were you weaker?
My reactions were
So
slower.
I get that for a game.
Well, like
but
some trainers didn't even want you to have sex like for a whole training camp. Like
No, I'm talking about
8
like
to 10 weeks.
That's why I
building
don't
up
like.
or whatever.
You wonder like where do I get the energy to run every fucking morning 4 miles a day?
From
Like
your semen.
well, the energy.
but
like,
does your semen flow, or is it there?
no,
and it's creating.
it's where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Physically.
Is it
Physically.
getting? Is it getting?
so you can't move your semen throughout your body.
I can move the energy of my
energy of it.
semen.
I'm just you wanted to mean you can't move your semen throughout your body.
No, I'm not moving my semen
Okay.
through my fucking
You're just
veins.
said-
like
Throwing it
bourbon?
around.
That's what I
Is it
heard.
like bourbon? Does it get better with age? Like the more it sits in
No,
your testes?
I'm asking.
I don't want to
okay,
get too
more
deep.
powerful?
I'm asking you a serious question. You think I'm kidding?
I don't want to get too deep. LOL.
If you've listened to the last 2
I got it.
episodes of this,
What are
then
the
you
odds
know
of that?
this is a reasonable question. Okay, no laughing. Okay?
I'm trying to really be.
You have said
that was amazing. That was
that you're considering looping your urine.
Yes.
To give you power or whatever. Have you considered looping your semen?
No.
Why not?
It's your DNA.
Why not?
Where would you
like
put
why?
it?
Well, like why not? But why not?
Why
Isn't there a
not?
lot of power and protein?
Because
and,
my body by itself doesn't get like. Well,
Actually, it does.
I'm
you
just
wait
asking
long
you,
enough?
Why not?
because it's not going through my kidneys. It's not going through my fucking
Okay,
liver.
well, there, explain it.
Because
that's
it's
all.
not going through my liver and it's not going through my kidneys. My semen doesn't get cleaned through my
But
fucking.
you could move it to your liver.
Powerful.
I can move the energy of it. I couldn't actually move the fluid, which was I'd actually be drinking it in his scenario.
yeah.
I just almost,
So
I
no.
almost gagged.
I'm really trying to be like conscious.
But dude, that's a real question.
Yeah, no, all right.
I use
yeah.
an
You only answer a real
avocado.
question.
No, I think your point of the fighters, like that's a real
No,
thing.
because I went through that. Anyone that's ever
I
been
did
involved in boxing knows that.
And you talk about like
Well, there's lots of
the
things you
time you
shouldn't
got
do
hurt.
before a
Legs,
fight.
weak legs.
Well,
Right.
what I'm saying
You
is
wouldn't go for a 10-mile run right before a fight either.
what I'm saying is that's an unharnessed
I used to
energy
take a
that
big shit, though.
we're not taught about.
Yeah.
We barely even talk about sex properly, right? And so I've discovered that within that retention of myself, that's a powerful energy that resides within me.
There's got to be like some sort of like window, like wine has like a drinkable window.
Right.
You can't like hold it for a year
No,
or like
no,
you'll, like, be
you can't
bursting with energy.
But like you're right because
Right.
prostate health is when we
Yeah,
start talking about
yeah,
prostate
exactly.
health, right?
But you can't
But your body knows better. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not gonna lie. Like with, like that's why if you have somebody you love and you share that experience of love with, then that's where you get rid of the semen that way through the proper way that God intended, in my opinion.
Is it okay to
for
have
us
a healthy
use.
sex life with your
No,
significant
absolutely.
other?
I'm not saying don't have sex. I'm saying if you have somebody you love and it's an action of love, like that's the most powerful thing that we can emotionally feel, right? If you have sex and are experiencing love through that sex, have it every day. Have it 5 times a day, right? But I'm not.
You hear that, Susan?
But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about masturbating, usually to pornography, and wasting our semen. If you're using, and
Is
look,
it a- is
I'm
it a-
being serious, and I'm not
No,
joking.
I'm going to ask you a serious question, too. This is serious. Is it a waste of the powerful semen to have... This is not a joke. I'm
fine,
just saying
man. That's
it's
why I
powerful
said
because
that.
it is powerful. I mean,
Yeah.
I've created 2 children. But many times, even if you're in love, you're not having sex to have children. Right, you're having
Right.
sex, and there's other forms of protection. Is that a bad thing? or
No,
what?
it's not. Look, the religions think what religions think,
And that's not
good-
even religious. I mean,
good
like
for them.
whatever. Like if you put a condom on,
Here's
you
my
have
thought.
sex.
If we're talking about sex, right? We're talking about the
at
the
Nick's
action
face,
of
Ronald.
sex, right?
Try not to laugh.
I think, in my opinion, that is physically the most emotional way that we can show another person that we love them.
Right.
We are joining in a union. So if that's what it's being used for, because in my opinion, that's what God intended the action to be meant for, right? But I'm not talking about being a sex addict and paying for hookers and
Right.
having just
But
casual
having
sex.
having sex and using protection, you are wasting the power of the
no.
semen. But it's fine.
The emotion
emotion's
behind the
good.
action,
Yeah,
right?
gotcha.
That's where it's
I gotcha.
coming forth, right?
100%.
No, and I agree with that. Do you guys ever see Harry Potter?
I've seen most of them, like
Harry
5
Potter
of them.
movies.
It's too bad.
I've seen like 5 of them.
It's like Voldemort split his soul into these different Horcruxes.
Yeah.
And it's almost a similar concept with the sex. I do feel there's a shared piece of you.
Wasn't a lot of sex in Harry Potter, was there?
Semen, right? That you're
on it. That's legit because
I get what you're
we take on people's shit when you're out having casual sex with people. You're giving off your energies completely.
We have energy.
You are taking on
vibes.
You're taking on other people's energy, and you're giving off your energy. Yep. So, you can experience other people's traumas from their life, from their emotions, because it's being transmitted through you. That energy
transmits some other things.
All right, funny guy.
No, right?
And that might be another reason why you'd wear that's my point being is that to answer your question, Todd. No, it's not a bad thing if you're using a contraceptive because financially or where you're at in life, you don't want to produce a soul, but you still want to experience love with the person that you love, right? I want to show you my love. I want to have this action that I can do this within. Then there's nothing wrong with using protection to not have a child created.
And there's something about that too because we've all felt people's energies, right? People
100%.
have, and whether it's vibrations,
100%.
vibes.
Yeah.
Is that what vibes is short for? Holy shit.
Are you really just...
Fuck.
Is he joking?
I'm dead serious.
You just figured out
I
putting out a vibe? It's
vibes
vibration.
Is vibrations.
Yes.
What if somebody...
Wow.
What if
brought
somebody...
up such a spiritual term.
We need to talk about what the fuck you're holding in your hand.
What if somebody wants to pleasure themselves to the final 2 minutes of the Chiefs-Bills divisional playoff game? Was that something that...
You're wasting your power.
Wow.
He's bringing power.
Or you're sacrificing your power.
Lebo wants to know what 2 rods you're holding.
I'll describe them.
That's what you call them.
They look like.
I want you to hold on to them.
No.
Just hold them for 2 minutes.
No, this is the truth. It looks like something you get at Cyrillus.
So it's purple velvet. It looks like a hot dog. It's about
Just
7
hold
inches.
it, man.
Can I hold one?
I wear them every.
They're heavy.
Yeah, man.
What is this?
So they're.
Now I'm going to be honest with you. My dad would like to have this as a weapon to hit people with because it's very heavy. It's
right,
good.
it is. So I meditate with those every morning. Every morning I meditate. They're grounding rods.
What is it though? What's in
grounding rods?
It's a piece of steel with. It's called tachyon. So tachyon is an element that's not on the periodic table because
it's not an element.
Because of the cabal?
No, it's an element that we can't measure yet.
What's that tag say right there?
Mega rod.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Nothing but the finest.
Mega rod.
You're right. Hey.
So they help you balance when you're meditating?
So what they are.
I've spent my whole life holding a mega rod in my hands because I just
they ground you. Like have you guys heard of grounding?
Yeah,
okay, so we're talking
That's
about
the people that take their shoes off and go out in the grass.
Right. So we emit
I do
off. Yeah,
I do that.
It helps. You ground
because
yourself.
I saw you do that, and there's something magical about nighttime when it's quiet and you're barefoot.
What you're doing is you're getting the positive ions off your body. Your body needs negative ions.
So where do you have to be when you have these? You have to have barefoot.
No, you don't. They do it themselves. They ground you.
So I could just
because of the tachyon.
Well, look. Okay, so. Here's to the spiritual world.
Right.
Here's to the Cyrillus world.
Knock it off.
So you have this.
They're
so you
not
hold them
sex
it's
toys.
just like this.
Yeah.
And you meditate? Or...
Well, what it does is it grounds your meridians. Like you got meridians that go through your body.
Anti-meridian?
Just hold on to them for 3 minutes. It'll calm you down. There is a legitimacy to this.
Balanced.
Yes.
It
legitimately, it balances your energy centers.
Look how calm he just got.
You got
Look how calm he just got. It was like a...
I'm not like...
No, I do that like, what do you call it with those... there's like a...
Yeah, the balls.
The balls or whatever.
Yeah.
I do that like a
Zen
stress
balls.
ball. What do you call it?
Yeah.
And I'll do that.
Yeah.
When I'm mad or whatever, I'll sit there and squeeze, each one, and that helps me chill out. So kind of the same theory.
But those literally are grounding you. So you're releasing positive ions off you, and you're turning those positive ions back.
So
to
there's
negative.
actually a physical reaction that my body's having.
Yes, right now.
So I'm holding this right now. So then what's happening if I'm?
You just got so chill.
Like just your energy centers are becoming aligned.
Look at you.
Your meridians are aligning. You're grounding that because that's what happens when you walk barefoot in the ground, or if you walk on a beach, or if you guys have been to the ocean before.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
You go in the ocean, you get some ocean water on you because that's grounding. It's a type of grounding. You walk on the beach, and then you feel like later on in the day you feel like kind of
okay. So I'll bring something up.
Would you want to try?
No, I appreciate what they are, but
Make them hold on.
wouldn't they just you could just have regular steel? You think you know the difference?
No, but that's tachyon. I don't think so.
What is the difference then between that and regular steel?
Those are tachyon rods.
What's that mean?
That there's an element that moves faster than the speed of light that can't be measured. That's been put on those.
Okay.
And where'd they get that?
People can create it.
Halidron
How do they
collider.
create it?
I'm not that
Hadron.
level. I don't.
Okay.
I don't know
Where do you
how.
get those at?
I can send you a
Tachyon.com?
website that you send them to. I mean, it's a spiritual
expensive?
website.
Probably Amazon.
No, I mean you might be able to get them on Amazon.
You get everything on Amazon.
Okay,
You
so-
get damn Skyline.
here-
Chili.
I don't know. I think there may be like $100 or
Okay, so
$200.
you're talking about the ocean and everything else. Okay, so there,
Sure.
I try to think of examples from my life to apply it, right? And so when I go to walk, right, and that's how I, like sometimes if I have a bad migraine or if I had a bad day, I go and walk. I do listen to my music, and that centers me. And I get okay, but where I go,
it grounds you.
is I go to English Landing Park, and I told you this, and I feel different. I walk right by the river,
Right by the river.
and I feel like an
Water.
energy. I feel better. I feel drawn to it.
Yeah, it's living water.
And I'm not, and I'll go and walk, at Platt Purchase Park where there's no, it's not by the river. And it's I get something out of it. I'm not
Sure.
gonna say, but I don't always go there because sometimes it's crowded and it's 20 minutes away from my house. But when I go down there, I feel different.
Yeah.
And I feel good, and I feel an energy that is hard for me to describe after I walk. And you're right next.
Yeah,
to the river.
it's grounding you.
It feels good.
It's grounding you. It's nature. Look.
So that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. It's grounding your energy.
'Cause that
It's
makes sense to me.
Because look, these phones, all these things give off. It turns our ions from negative to positive. So the more we have like these fucking headphones on, our phones, everything, driving a car, everything changes our natural state. The natural state, nature. Are negative ions, it turns them positive.
Would I get more out of it if I didn't listen to my headphones?
No, I wouldn't say so because
music is,
yes,
is
I'm going to say no.
spiritual to me.
I'm going
It
to
means
say
something to me. Okay.
yes, music. The benefit of the actual tones of music are more beneficial than the little amount of EMFs that are giving off on your headphones.
Okay.
Right, so music is super powerful.
And I'm just asking, like, would I get more benefit if I did listen to music?
We've all
and just-
been in like
Try it.
you've been in a dentist's office or a doctor's office, and there's like music of just a fucking babbling brook or something like that. There's like
Like when you get a spa.
Oh,
Yeah.
like so,
massage.
like I go.
there's
to,
power in that sound, but it's the vibration of the water.
I go to therapy for my migraines, right? And so they turn me on to an app and also a YouTube thing where it's kind of weird. And
Called
so
Calm, or-
you put it on the computer, and it's like wavy stuff,
Yeah.
but the sound is like it's almost like
Like a chant type thing.
Gregorian chant.
No, it's an ohm. Yes,
and I'll
that's
sit
an
there
ohm.
and listen to it, and it kind of feels good, but it's not music. It's
No, it's a chant.
Yeah, I sometimes when I know I have to get up early, like you guys get
And I
up
thought it
early
was
every
crazy.
day.
No, it's like
It's
why,
kinda-
that's why monks they chant Om. Like
and I
that's-
need to go to sleep. I found some of these things
it
like
balances.
on YouTube that are those kind of noise things.
Yeah.
And because I know I have to go to sleep because I have to wake up early because I don't always have to wake up early like you guys do. And if I know like I have to come in and do the border patrol, I'll put that thing on so I can go to sleep faster.
Get back to
and
your
make
natural
sure.
state. Like
Yeah.
so, like look here. Words of Alan Watts. I'm a giant fan of Alan Watts. Right? As so an apple tree apples, so the earth peoples. We came from the earth. That's where we came from. Like we are organic beings. So when we get back in touch with Mother Nature, we're going back to our natural state. Right? We don't live in a natural state and sitting in here in this room with this fucking hard shit and all this electricity. Like that's not our natural state of being.
No, you're right.
What do you remember going to the mall back in the day and they had those where the little copper bracelet thing and the guy'd say, "Oh, hold this," and he'd push you and you'd fall over, and then he'd put the thing on you and you wouldn't fall over.
It's amazing.
I think that was a
might
bit of a circus
here's
trick
that for that.
because you're not expecting
There's
to
some
get pushed.
placebo
Yeah.
involved in that.
So this is what this is my. So,
Yeah.
Speakers at the bottom.
no, sorry.
You put your
It's
ear
just a
by
tone.
the
It's a
speaker,
tone.
dummy.
Like I listen to all kinds of frequencies. Like there's different frequencies for different emotions.
But I put it on my speaker. and it's really loud. I don't know.
Okay. I'm half Mexican. When I go to Mexico, man, the sun is a different shade of orange. The beach it speaks to me. It just like I like to go. I put a towel in the sand, and I like to touch the sand.
Yeah,
and there's something
grounding,
about that where
grounding.
I'm just kind of like, I don't even need a lot of drinks. I do, but I don't need a lot of drinks and just chill and just like the sound of the ocean.
It's grounding.
There's something about living by oceans or water or mountains.
Water is so.
Then why am I afraid of water? But I'm afraid of water
Because there might be some past life experiences that created that you carried on with.
Like
you.
I'm definitely afraid of the ocean. I don't want to, the depths of the ocean.
I mean, I can't dive into your past life regressions, but like there might be something. But
it.
also, it's like the only way that you get rid of that is going. Look here. I think I don't know if I've given.
I'm just going to tell you.
It might. I mean, then if you say so, yes, you're right. If it's not happening, you're right. Your statement is it's not happening. Only you know that.
Like I would not like one of my biggest fears is like I don't know why, but it's like being in the water.
Yeah, and a shark.
And a big like a big giant ship like the Titanic is there in the water.
You mean the Olympic?
A crew, without a big ship. And I'm in the water next to it, and I have that nightmare though. Seriously,
I get it.
I'm in the water, like I can't get out of the water. Here comes this big fucking ship.
This sounds crazy, but like you could have a past life trauma where you were like I don't know
out to sea like a sailor.
Like that's like very very possible.
Do you think he was part of the people who were fake the Titanic?
I doubt it.
Could have been.
Because that was within his life.
Are you Jack?
Do you think I was a seaman?
I know. I don't know if you're a seaman, but you're a big jack off.
No, that's right. That's exactly
What about
right.
like my biggest fear in the ocean is obviously sharks, but I would be scared as fuck if like a massive blue whale just swam near me, just the size like the ship.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking
Like, you know what I'm
about.
saying? Just the sheer
Dude, no,
size
you
alone.
would love.
Let me
Oh
tell you
no,
something.
let me tell you
like
something.
Spock?
Fuck
They
me,
are
Spock.
higher beings than we are. They are higher beings.
100%
I mean, that's a
yes.
fucking mammal.
And
like
they
that.
would fuck me up.
No,
and I
they
don't
wouldn't.
want- How do you know?
You don't know that.
Because-
What if they flocked? What if they,
Because they're higher. We got go.
That's it.
See, that's what I like.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
This
What
is
is
one of
that?
these
I
things
couldn't
that I
see
watched one
Frequencies.
time.
I send you guys all kinds. I listen.
shit.
432 hertz.
Yeah,
heart
that's the
chakra healing.
frequency. That's the frequency.
Hold on. How? Okay, it's eight hours long.
So what I do on
Yeah,
what I
no,
do,
right.
Right about
totally.
hour 5, hour 6 after you're out, it's gonna say some shit in
It
there.
might.
Like
No,
subliminal
it's
shit
not.
on there.
Well, here's what I do.
Buy Amazon. Buy Amazon. Buy
on my-
Amazon. Buy Amazon.
on my
buy Amazon.
TV in
Also,
my bedroom.
but be careful where you. I mean, you could.
On my TV in my bedroom, like if I know I got to get up early in the morning.
No TVs in the bedroom for me.
Yes.
So-
dude.
No, I don't.
No
I have a TV
TVs in the bedroom. Absolutely.
So I will like
Good
if I know
man.
I got to get up early in the morning, or like I've come home from a Chiefs game at night, and it's hard to go to sleep because you were just
drunk.
at the game or something like that. And I'll turn that thing on, but I'll put the TV on like sleep timer of an hour.
Sleep
So-
timer was in the 90s.
Yeah, of course, and the TV turns off. Well, you don't have a
used to have a
TV in your
sleep timer.
bedroom. You don't give me shit
I
about
used to have a
my
little
fucking
sleep timer I put on for like 30 minutes.
No, the sleep timer on the TV, I'll put it to turn off in 60 minutes, and then this thing will go, and who knows what it's saying after 60 minutes? I'll be asleep. I don't give a shit.
Yes,
I have a TV in my
your
bedroom.
subconscious conscious gives a shit though.
Maybe.
It's getting fed some bullshit.
I've been trying to go through this because I have a new CPAP machine for my sleep apnea, and it's hard to go to sleep with that, right? Because it feels like I'm suffocating. But now, and so now the last couple
It's
of nights,
giving you sweet life.
I've been. Susan gets mad because she thinks I think everything's a joke, whatever.
Whoa,
And so
no, not
when
you.
I had my CPAP mask on, I talk like
Bane.
Bane.
fucking dick, I knew it.
She tells me I just can't stop.
Yeah, Susan, how are you? I'm born into the earth.
Right. If and like in the morning, I go, the penis rises.
You want to have sex with me, Susan?
Leave the mask on. Leave
It
the
will
mask
be
on.
painful for you.
You know what's crazy is that we spend
I do know what's crazy.
1 billion% of our lives on a mattress, and we change those fuckers out like every 50 years.
Yeah,
You're
it's
supposed to
just-
change
that's
about every
unheard of.
5, man.
That's
You know what that is? That's just big mattress telling you to buy a new one.
Okay.
I mean, I sleep on the floor anyways.
So back to the
my
ground.
Hold
God.
on, hold on.
sleeper
You sleeping on the floor?
No, not right now.
We mean not
no,
right
no,
now.
no,
What do
no,
you mean?
no, I sleep in a bed.
Do you sometimes sleep on
Are
the
you
floor?
telling us the truth or lying now?
I'm telling you the truth.
I don't. At
Where'd you
this
sleep
point,
last
I don't
night?
think he's fucking
In a bed.
lying.
In a
Todd.
bed, okay.
Is there a benefit to sleeping on the floor?
I don't know.
Or is it because,
this is out of my realm.
Okay.
This is your realm.
Sometimes I
You're our fucking realm
I
guy,
mean,
bro.
it's probably better. Sleeping on the floor is probably better than sleeping on a terrible mattress.
Sometimes I
This
sleep in
guy
my
was
car.
this guy was laying on the fucking floor when I walked in here.
Before this podcast, I was fucking out under this desk.
He was doing the Costanza. He had a little,
Can I put a desk
little,
in here?
Yeah.
a little
My
shelf
back's
in
hurting,
there,
man.
little
Lay down
alarm
on
clock.
bed.
Okay, so back to this grounding. How often do you use those rods?
Every morning
day.
when I meditate.
But
Every morning when
only
I meditate.
then? You brought them in here special for us today.
No, no, not only then. Like you, I wanted, honestly, I brought them in because I wanted to be very conscious of this podcast today, and I wanted to make sure I was centered, and I wanted to make sure I was good with my delivery. I wanted.
Have we gotten you off the rails yet?
No, I'm all right.
He's trying to work it.
I'm trying. No,
And I want to
fucking
apologize.
face
Rods.
I want to apologize to you.
Sorry, rods.
I offended Jake earlier.
Oh, wow.
Because I took one of the rods.
It's okay.
And I went up to Nate, and I was hitting Nate.
It's okay.
Why am I such a small?
And that's why Nate isn't here.
He was. That's not what they're for, though.
I would have knifed you.
That's not what they're for.
Just
But it was okay. Since I did it
like
to
a
Nate,
quick
do you forgive me?
prison
Well,
just like
the funniest part was my reactions. I turned sideways, and instantly you're like, "Oh man."
Right.
I should. I should. No, you said sorry by. I saw your immediate reaction because you off
Right.
my reaction. You're like, oh man, he didn't think that was funny
Right,
at all.
right. You know what it is? I was tapping on the shoulder. I was like, hey, Nate.
When in all honesty, I thought it was pretty funny.
Right.
funny.
You like
It
a
was
mega
Nate.
rod.
Yeah,
You know?
no, I thought it's funny, but it's like
Today
I
was
really,
Nate Day.
I really wish you wouldn't pretend
So-
like my
Right.
grounding rods was his dick.
Right.
So
what's
you
up?
mentioned earlier
Yeah.
the no pleasuring.
Right.
It goes along with the no
Sure.
porn.
Yeah.
Is
Right.
that similar decision, same time? Or is it
Yeah, very similar. No, I mean, I don't want to get too back deep into my problems.
No, this is not your problem.
I do.
Listen, we've talked a lot about
speaking
in
in
reference
code.
to things that were said, like Dayton Moore talked about the no porn thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing in this
No,
world.
that's
the
what. If you want to
justification
go
and-
there, yes. Like, I mean, I'm on a spectrum of. I would call sexual addiction, porn addiction. I'm on a spectrum of that where
But you have an addictive personality. everything.
Absolutely, I do. And so I like.
In what regard?
Yeah, in what regard? And the fact that I've almost tried to eat myself to death, drink myself to death,
Drug
myself to death. Outside of that.
Beat off to death?
Well, I mean, if you could probably die from it,
Most in a day.
I was probably getting.
Most in a
Oh,
day.
I don't.
At your highest level.
I don't
Say
know.
you were alone at the house all day.
There were probably times in my youth that,
Yeah.
like double digits.
Oh my God! In one day? Listen. That's
What the fuck?
What was
by the
happening?
way? Hey.
How bad of a dry dock was that? Like by like 9 or 10, right? There's no way. No
you like-
way.
Were you-
Not like on a
way.
regular basis.
Okay.
I know, I know that. I know that.
Specification.
That was like a max.
If max, I would say it probably reached 10 to 12.
I
would
would say 3 in
Were
one.
you like
4 in one day.
Quagmire in that one episode of Family Guy when he walks out and he's got a giant muscular
right
arm?
Honestly, I think there was probably a lot of Adderall or cocaine involved.
Okay.
I mean, if
all
we're-
those together.
Was that a performance enhancing? Is that a performance enhancing for semen?
No, I don't think so.
No, that
No.
prevents you from.
no, it made it harder, but I did it anyways.
Okay.
Almost like a challenge.
You got to grind through.
I mean, I love suffering.
10 times. Like I know it's not just like a one-off. It's like 10. What's your guys' most in one day? You'd say. I would say 4. I would
Probably
say
like
4 in one day.
2 or something. I don't know.
He's a normal guy over there.
I'm just kind of like regular guy. Steven won't even say.
When
that.
I was 12, man, I was sure in love with myself. I was finding some things out when I was 12, man. I don't
Battling
know.
them demons.
But,
I don't know.
it is a real societal problem because that, like, look, when I was growing up, it was really hard to get porn. I tried really hard and I got porn. Like, well, I mean, like,
90s?
like
Early 90s?
harder. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go sneak into the bathroom and
Look,
pull my phone out.
here's the deal, to
Like, you
your
had to
point.
secure a VHS machine. You
If
had
it
to,
was
like,
readily available like it is today,
VHS machine.
you may not have seen me
Right,
from
that's
12
what I mean.
to
Like,
14.
I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I'd have been, where's Steve?
this is
12 showers today.
We want to get honest. It's like there might have been some days that like I got a new porn tape and be like, oh, all of a sudden I was,
Sick.
next
Go to
day.
school.
And I mean, like,
So
Wow.
true. I'll tell you a porn story.
I'm dead, gone.
So
Hey, look, here's the deal. This is Hot Mike with SSJ, but clearly I have no fucking control over anything.
I'm the
Look,
oldest
I still
person
want to
here.
keep stating that
Okay.
it's a real fucking problem.
Absolutely.
It's a real fucking problem.
because it is so readily available, and people are looking at these things
It's
at
how
a
young
younger
people-
age.
yes, it's
and
how
the,
they're,
and
like-
the weird fetish things that are out there. They're whatever.
Before you
it's a
get to your
problem.
story, let me
What's your
let me
story?
go full
I
circle
can't
with it.
wait to hear this story.
It's how the youth of America or the youth of the world really what we were talking about previous to this
Probably
about
mentally not ready for this.
well, it's also like that's in their mind. That's how they develop that's what they think love is.
Right.
Right. That's what they think love is. They think love is what they see on this phone, and that's not. right? That's not what it's meant for. And so that's what our idea of sex and normal sex, right, is what these kids are growing up with. Like, and
now, ladies and gentlemen, Todd Lebo tells a story of porn.
So we're in high school, youngish, probably 15, 16, whatever, around that age. We're driving around.
Did you have full head of hair?
What year?
This is like
I'm trying to get the whole picture.
or something.
Did you have a full head of hair?
he never had a full head of hair.
No, I did. I had hair. So
Driving around with your fucking hair.
I won't name names of who was in the car.
Name
it was
Lance Sandage.
Come on, just one.
I'm not naming names. Who was in the
Jim
car?
Ford.
Name one person.
My friends
dog,
who you
Lance.
guys know as my friends are still my friends.
Okay.
Those people. So we're driving around near.
He just said his name.
We were over by, not far from Dixon's Chili. We were talking about stuff earlier. That kind of little area by the stadium over there, 39th Street, 40 Highway, whatever.
Good shit happens there.
And we're driving
Crest.
and we're cutting through this little back road, and there was a box sitting there, and we're like, wow, would that be crazy if that was just like a box of porn? And we drove up to it.
Talk
and
about
you know what it
vision
was?
board.
What?
It was a fucking box of
You
porn.
fucking
Yeah,
liar.
you created that.
You did. He created it.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
box is empty. That box is empty. This was until you spoke it in
Yep.
the universe.
Now listen,
It filled
this
with
is
porn.
1986 or so it was
the big
magazines.
ones.
This wasn't
magazines.
No.
videotapes. This
Yeah,
is like
some Hustlers.
actual. No, not even Hustlers. They were like, kind of
Club International.
something like Club or something.
those are
Look,
good.
hey, look.
And-
Kids today won't know what this is all
Wait,
about.
where you're picking the same. So we
No
we
clue.
Like,
picked
what was
the
it?
thing up. Everyone, we divvied it up like a little bit like a draft. Here you can have this one and that one, and so we each had.
What
we
were
had
some of the
some
titles?
stuff. It was like Club or something.
I mean, who was it? Was it Seika, Christy
No,
Canyon? Who
they
were
were.
talking about?
I don't think they were.
They're generic chords.
They were just people. I don't think there was a Seika in there or a Nina Hartley, one of them.
Yeah.
But it was so like, and we each had this, and that was like. That was your porn, and so that like went under the mattress or whatever,
Yeah.
and that's.
Yeah.
But now you're right, Jake. It's just
Like,
out
you
there.
dirty little son
So
of a bitch.
eventually, God, it might have been in the fucking driveway of one of my friend's elementary schools. As I was thinking about it, it might have been there. Is where we found this thing. Anyway, because someone probably said, "You got to get that."
Put a box
Yeah.
of porn
You know,
in front of an elementary school.
like the
What's going on?
in the
Talk about
Beastie
that
Boys
sick
video,
fuck.
right? You know, your mom threw away your best porno mag. You know, I think maybe someone's parent had grabbed this and threw the thing away.
I had a Jenny McCarthy Playboy underneath my mattress that came in as cutting every piece possible, just laying.
So and then, but that was like that
Dumb
porn.
17-year-old.
It was like just a lady sitting there like
Yeah.
greased up. I mean,
was
it wasn't like.
Right. It wasn't
You know,
live. It wasn't.
yeah. Well-
now they have these VR. I mean, like it is, but that's like the twistedness of, and we're giving our power up, right?
Exactly.
And like, let's be honest, like.
Do you remember I had that copy? I'm not kidding.
Let's be honest,
I had
like-
a copy of Edward Penis Hands.
Like when you're done masturbating, you don't really feel all that good about yourself.
No, a lot of self-loathing.
You really just don't.
I feel
I don't know.
guilty.
Immediate regret.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So like,
If you're doing it 10 times a day, probably
but
not.
that's what let's go back to the sixth sense. That's your intuition saying that's probably not what you
not
should be
good for you.
doing.
It's
That's
probably
probably
not
not
good for
that's probably not the right action. That's probably that's not meant to be for.
It bastardizes like my thoughts. Like because if you watching a porn, you go, "Oh, is this pizza delivery? Okay, he's probably gonna have sex here pretty soon."
Right.
I mean, everything. It's like porn.
Oh, no,
teaches
he
you
is just delivering
you
a
are
pizza.
one fucking step away from intercourse.
Yeah.
like it's gonna happen.
Someone's
like,
going to say the wrong thing, and then boom.
This
stepmom.
woman's
You're right,
not really a
no,
realtor.
Every
She's not
time,
going to sell him a
every time I
house.
did, right afterwards, I would feel really bad.
Right.
But then as soon as I took the nipple clamp off, I'd feel better. That was okay.
Christ, man. Christ. So, I mean, we're not going to get yeah. No.
I want more of this right now. I want to know. And so you're just nothing.
Nothing.
That's is it
Just sex.
difficult for you?
No, I mean, look. Not really. Like at first it was because it becomes habitual. It becomes a habit.
But like you don't think about
like
it like,
snacking.
I wish I
It's
could
like
go do this.
snacking.
No, but also I also try to shift my mind. Like I try not to objectify people like I used to. I try not to like if there's an attractive woman, I try to that's just an attractive woman.
Well, it's also-
that's just that's God's creation. Not like, man, I'd really like to, whatever. Like, but that's how I lived a long time, a real long time.
Do you think, because here's what I think. I think, like, whatever, porn is fine for some people occasionally to do. I think maybe for you, with your personality and your addictiveness, many things are probably too dangerous for you.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, there is some truth in that, but I want to take it to a different angle. I want you to look from it at a different perspective, right? Have you seen me shift in my being and who I am, right? I'm looking at aspects of my life of how can I be better? How can I raise my vibration to a higher level, right? That's a low vibe activity. Looking at porn is low vibration.
That's actually a negative vibration.
Yes.
It's got to be. It's got to take away.
So
something,
when I
right?
examine
like
my life on a daily basis, which I do a self-examination at the end of every day and say, what did I not like about my day? I want to try not to do that tomorrow. What did I like about my day? I want to try to do more of that tomorrow. Right? I call it a live autopsy, right?
Oh, wow. I like that.
And so I examine my day every day, and it's a routine. As I'm getting my coffee ready for the next day, I'm replaying my day through. It's like, where did I not like myself today? Where did I not feel good? Okay? And then
chili today.
Well, I didn't eat it, so I don't think
the smell.
But
Opened it in front
here's
of
an
you, though.
example. Like a couple weeks ago, I'm in the middle of doing some work. I'm trying to get out of the office. I have an appointment. I'm rushed, and I'm trying to do some work. And somebody comes into my office and has a question for me. And I was a pretty big dick to this person, right?
Are you apologizing to me right
No,
now?
I'm not apologizing to you. I already
it wasn't me?
I already apologized to this person. That's my point.
department?
Sales. So that action happened. I'm a human being.
That night, you're like, I don't want to do that tomorrow.
Yeah, so I went through my day, and I was
live
like,
autopsy.
where did I not feel good today? Oh, man, when so-and-so walked in my office, I said, hey, man, can't you see I'm busy? Why don't you just email me, right? And so I was like, I really didn't feel good about myself. So the next day, I went and said, hey.
Was that worse than jacking off?
I'm just telling you, this is an example of
shouldn't
how
make jokes, I know.
how I clean it up. Right? And so I went back to that person and said, hey, when you came in my office yesterday, I was a big dick to you. And I'm sorry. How can I make that right? And the truth is that, like, oh, I didn't really think twice about it. I didn't think you were being a dick.
But may I play devil's advocate here? That seems to be that's not an isolated incident. That perhaps you're
Right, but
The salespeople.
you yell at salesperson.
but how do
around
I make the frequency of that happening less?
Well, I think you've done a good job of that, honestly.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. So that,
sure.
like, by examining myself on a daily basis,
Yeah.
and look, I want to create less chances in my life on a daily basis that I don't feel good.
I think my point is, in this world we live in 2022, there's a lot of dangerous things out there. A lot of dangerous things for kids out there, a lot of stuff.
Sure.
But, like, I don't think every kid who plays Call of Duty is going to shoot up a school.
No.
Okay? I think some people can take something in and they can be okay with it. Like, every kid who looks at some porn and maybe pleasures themselves isn't going to become addicted to it. Every kid, every kid who takes smokes some pot isn't going to turn into a meth head. I mean, but it's
what?
Well, that's what they told me. I grew up in the 80s.
Sure.
It was the gateway drug.
Yeah.
So I didn't like every kid who
We
has
were
a
lied
beer
to,
is not going
but-
to become an alcoholic. I mean, it's just how it goes. So I think what we need to find in our lives is, and it's dangerous because you can kill you.
Yeah.
Where can you get to where you're balanced out? And that's that. But the hard part is you just fucking don't know until you try something.
Sure.
So that's why, like, I've never taken, like, hard drugs and stuff like that, because what if I fucking really liked it? I don't even want to fuck with it. You know what I mean?
This is the real portion of that, is that I don't regret any of those actions that I
Because that
take.
got you where you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's like, and also, like, where I'm going in my life and what I am, it's not for everybody. It's not for most people. It's not for the majority.
It may not be for you.
Well, I mean, it is for me, because
Right
what
now
I'm,
it is.
What
Who
I'm
knows?
what I'm talking about is my growth as a spiritual being. That's I'm on a spiritual journey of growth, right? And so I want to eat. Like, I used to be all about change, but then I realized, look, at a certain point in time in my life, there had to be a change, right? Because I was going to die if there wasn't.
Right.
I've gotten to a point now, and I would say in the last year plus, 2 years, 3 years, maybe, change just isn't good enough, right? Because I've already done the change, right? Now
To evolve.
now
grow.
now it needs to be evolution, right? Because there is bad change too. I don't want to change. I want to evolve.
And you needed that change more than most people.
had to happen. Had to happen.
That was, like you said, a necessity, or you may not be here.
Here's the reality of the situation I'm in. I am 1%. right? And I thank God every morning that for whatever reason, he gave me an awareness in certain moments of my life that I was able to make a shift. And I thank God for that every day. And I say I'm the 1% because I'm 1% of the people that survive the struggles and the things that I've dealt with.
Doing, yeah.
Right? Like
a lot of people don't come back from the depths.
and it's not just one thing. It's not just alcoholism. And they all kind of correlate together, right? It's not just drug abuse. It's not suicidal depression. It's not an eating disorder, right? All those things came down to really one string that I have to deal with on a daily basis. And it's that I'm a self-centered, selfish person.
We all are.
But I'm at a level that kills me.
Yes.
Right? And there are things that you guys can do in your lives that I can't.
Yeah.
And which means, and I've seen it through my experiences with like my brothers. Neither one of them have had the issues that I've had. Right?
Some people can socially drink and you can't.
Right. But even more, let's talk about the emotional piece, right? So we've had the exact same situations happen to the three of us. Right?
Because you both have the same parents, and
right?
live in the same house, and all those stuff. Yeah.
In their life, let's just take an example. Like somebody did something to the three of us, and they can harbor a resentment, right? And they can live their life with that resentment for the rest of their life, and they can hate that person forever, and it's not going to kill them, right? That resentment, what it was doing to me, was it was a poison that was killing me. These emotions that I had inside of me, if I don't deal with them, they will kill me because of my illness. And so I was drinking over this resentment. I was doing drugs over this resentment. And then I was hating myself over those actions.
A vicious cycle.
And it's a vicious cycle.
Eating your emotions.
Okay.
Right. But so you guys could harbor emotions that I can't. And so I have to be aware of my emotions on a different level than most people.
It's a growth.
It's a gift from God. I look at it as like it's a double-edged sword. Like most people are like, oh, you're an alcoholic? That kind of sucks. And I'm like, no, if you knew me before, it's actually the best. It's my biggest asset in my life today. Because one, it's given me a God of my own understanding, right? That I live my life by. It gave me a set of principles to try to be a good person on a daily basis. But also it created it's like when I first had that conversation with you in your office, and I was like, dude, I'm an alcoholic, right? Like that was in that moment, like that was the scariest shit I've ever dealt with, and it was this like the worst, like because my father was an alcoholic, my uncle was an alcoholic, and I wanted to go my whole life not being one, and then I had to realize, oh fuck. I am one. And then it was like my life's over. Like I don't even really want to live, but I'm too big of a coward to pull a trigger.
Right.
And that's reality.
And when you came to grips with yourself, that's part of the process. But then telling other people, I don't know if that was even harder or not harder. Because it was super emotional when you came and told me that. Because it was emotional for me because I've got a history of alcoholism in my family and all that stuff. And we had been worried about you for years and all that stuff. But was it harder to tell yourself and to come to grips with yourself, or harder to go tell the people you loved and cared about that was your truth at then?
Probably coming to grips with it for myself because of the process for how hard and long it was. Right. And then
it's way harder to admit stuff to yourself.
Yeah. And but I had a serious God moment in the Newark airport. Right. I mean, I just bought in a jersey some Mike. My last drink was on Halloween of 2014. I was traveling back to Kansas City. I just worked the Army Air Force game for CBS. And the 2 days prior, the Royals lost the World Series on the Alex Gordon not going home. And
say that Madison Bumgarner did a good job. Let's not lay that at Gordo's feet right here.
Fuck him.
So I have my last drink, which was a quart of 100 proof vodka.
Most people don't call that a drink, Jake. FYI.
And so I'm faced with. I had a lot of disclosure to my wife at the time, and she said, "Do not come home. Do not come home. I'm filing for a divorce on Monday. Don't come home." And my life's over in my mind. My life's over. I'm talking to my brother. I'm talking to a couple of my buddies. And I'm just like, what the fuck am I going to do? What the fuck am I going to do with my life? And so I had a conversation with my brother. He's like, what are you going to do? Like, seriously, what are you going to do? I mean, logistically, like, you don't have a place to stay tonight. What are you going to do, man? And in my mind, I was like, I'll probably just call my buddy up. I'll probably just go get drunk. I didn't say that, but I said, I'll probably stay in so-and-so's house. And this is a gift from God in this conversation. I look at it as, he said, hey, why don't you call our older brother? And
who lives in town?
Who lives in Kansas City. Why don't you go stay with him and not stay over there? Mm-hmm. And I said, I don't know, I guess, maybe. And he's like, whatever you're thinking, maybe just try to do something different. And so in that moment, I was like, fine, fuck, whatever. But I'm sitting in the airport, and I buy this Jersey Mike's sub, and I almost buy a beer, and I'm like, that's for some reason, and I call that the grace of God. I didn't.
Right.
And I sit down with this Jersey Mike's sub, and I'm about to eat it. And Jersey Mike's, if you want to sponsor it, feel free. And it was like 1,000-pound weight just slid off my back, because before I even touched the sandwich, I had the realization, like, holy fuck, I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And it this realization of this moment was not of my doing, right? It was
just finally hit you.
It was a culmination.
Wait, what's the weight coming off, you think? You know what I'm saying? Is it all that regret? You've been you're like fucking Santa Claus with all the toys.
Yeah, but it's also probably like the way I was living my life was, I think I'm presenting something to you guys that's different, right? Where you guys all know what the fuck's going on, but I think I'm hiding it. And I was hiding it from a lot of people. The way I was drinking, I had separate accounts to pay for my drinks. I mean, I was spending anywhere between $600 to $1,000 on booze a month.
It was a tangled web you would weave.
Right. And so in that moment, like, letting go that I don't have to keep this charade up any longer.
So I think, I can't remember the exact date, but you didn't tell me. It had been a while. I mean, I think a couple weeks maybe. You'd started going to some meetings. I don't think you came in like the next day and said that.
You know what that reminds me of? What you said.
It was probably about 10 days in.
Yeah, because then you started going to meeting every day, right?
I don't talk about that, right? I'm not going to name it. I am a part of a 12-step fellowship,
right.
And if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to talk about that in a private meeting. But no, I make myself available. Yeah. You can always reach out to me. At Jake Goody on Twitter, and I'm serious. Like,
when you told me, you'd said it had been, I mean, a little bit since you'd had a drink. It wasn't like you came in the next day and said that. So
no, it's probably
kind of started
about
the
10 days. I think I was about 10 days in. It's probably around November 11th or 12th.
And it meant a lot to me. I mean, we've talked about this before. But it meant a lot to me that you told me that. You know what I mean? Because it's like. Because I know people have gone through it and the process of the steps and kind of all that stuff, and that that you had accepted it to yourself was the most important part, but being honest and open about it with other people who you cared what they thought is another step on the process,
accountability, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I had to be accountable because people would be like, oh, like, and here's the fact that I tell anybody who comes to me with because I do. People know that I'm a sober man living a sober life. And the reality I came to is that, like, when I'm doing this in my mind, and this is part of the illness, I think I'm only hurting me.
Right.
Like, why does everybody fucking care what I'm doing? I'm only hurting me. Why do you care? What I don't realize is that I'm actually hurting everybody that fucking loves me.
Right.
It's a family illness, and it touches everyone in some form or fashion. No matter who you are, it touches your life. Maybe not directly. Maybe it's not a father or mother. Maybe it's an uncle or an aunt or a cousin.
Coworker or whatever.
I grew up going to Al-Anon meetings.
Yeah, right.
Because my dad was in AA.
It touches.
We had, and so, but what you said reminded me of something my dad said on this podcast. When I asked him, because he had spent so long evading getting arrested and evading the police, right?
Think you got it figured out.
All this fucking shit and this fucking web of he had every phone with that hooked up where it would tell you if it was bugged or not. He had people following him and doing all this other stuff. And I asked him, I said, and I never asked, I go, so when you finally got caught, like what did you feel like? What was your? He goes, to be honest, I was kind of relieved. It was exhausting to fucking
living the life,
to live that life,
Right.
and to do all these things I had to do to not get caught. To finally, it's like, okay, fuck, now I don't have to do all this shit. And it kind of reminded me of what you just said.
Yeah.
It was exhausting to do all these fucking things and jump through all these hoops you did to live that life. To finally, like, fuck, I don't have to do that anymore.
Right. And here's the reality is that, like, I think I'm somebody or something when that's not really who I am. To my core nature, like, the version of me that you guys saw, like, that's not who I am authentically. That's not the soul that God put here, right? I'm trying to get closer to that every day. And I think, like, the version that you see in front of you right here is in my small brain's conception closer to what I think God's will is for me, who my authentic self, right? And so what you're talking about is that's not who your dad really is. I've met your dad, right? But that's who he thought he was, and that's what he was presenting. And when you're living outside of that authenticity, right, and you're presenting this, you start, to your point earlier, telling yourself lies, and then you don't believe what, and then it's like you don't know who the fuck you are. You just know who you're supposed to be, and then that just doesn't jive with your innermost self.
Absolutely. And so, like, Nick Leckie's our special guest. He's been taking many notes, and we only have about 5 minutes left. So I'm going to give you the opportunity. If you have any questions or anything you want to bring up with Jake, because you were anxious to come on this podcast. So
I think I presented a vibration to this thing. And we're able to have some laughs,
right?
Have Jake have a confessional.
But when you hear all this,
I like that a lot.
How do you react?
Well, I think what it does is it puts information out there where, if you're dealing with something, it's okay to talk about it. I think I saw that Brandon Brooks just retired yesterday.
Right.
If you don't know what Brandon Brooks is, he's that big ass right guard for the Philly who had some mental health issues, and I think as men, it's important to share mental health issues, because I think mental health can sometimes get fucked up in a way where like people use it as their crutch, or but it's a real thing. And I think mental health is something that needs to be discussed about more.
It takes strength to discuss that and to be
it
open
does
about that.
No, it really fucking does. And I think it's something that's super important to us, that we are just now kind of much like Jake with all the spiritual stuff. We do have vibrations. I think each of us give off certain vibrations, and it's like, good, bad, whatever. You need to change. And I think to not being your authentic self too also ties into the whole social media thing, where
no one's themselves.
Like no one is themselves, right? No one is themselves, and you get caught up too much. Like, for some people, it's okay. For some people, look at it and go, oh, I'm jealous. I want to do this, that, whatever. Like, so
it's like anything. Some people can handle some stuff, and some people can't. And it doesn't make you bad or good or whatever.
Social media is an elaborate fucking lie.
People get addicted to that shit. They get
Okay.
I saw the story on Real Sports, the new Real Sports.
Oh, I watched that.
The gambling one, right? So these leagues have been against gambling and all this stuff, and now they're embracing it. And for some people, I mean, you could sit there and play a couple of dollars a day, and some people, they just fucking can't. Yeah. Gambling has not been great. If you're addictive, it can crush you. And then the other mental health of it, and we don't need to talk about Antonio Brown. I think he's a bullshit liar. That interview he had with Gumbo was something else, but whatever. I'm not going to talk bad about him.
Right, that's never know.
But you don't know what he's all about. But that the same kind of things some people can handle. Looking at social media and being happy, sad about it. Some people can handle gambling, drinking, going to church, pornography, whatever. I mean, we're all kind of different that way.
Not pornography at church.
You have to find.
Kind of ran it together.
You have to find a way.
Man, it's your friend.
Going to church and pornography.
You're not my friend.
Yeah, listen.
You got to find some way to be on the level and get yourself some happiness.
Let's try to wrap this up on a lighter note.
Practice mindfulness.
Okay. Nick Leckie, I'd like to put you on the spot for a moment.
Okay.
You were a star Division I athlete in a big time college campus and a football team, and I've always wondered what it would be like to be on a campus to have just basically everything open to me. Can you tell me a story of the weirdest shit that you saw? It didn't mean that you did it.
This is pre-NIL days.
Yeah, this is you're an All-American. You walk into the party, everyone sees you. You can have whatever you want. What's the wildest, craziest shit? Or in the NFL, whatever that you've seen, that you heard about? Give me something. Give me an anecdote that people can leave this podcast with and say, "Wow, what the fuck?"
I'd say just personally, I was kind of grateful because I always sort of shunned the spotlight or never really and when I was in NFL, people asked me what I did for a living. I would say construction worker, right? Because
so you're just a liar.
So yeah, I was a fucking psychopath. Well, it avoids all this shit where like all of a sudden if I tell someone I'm construction, they go, okay, cool, and they go on about the day.
I work with my hands.
The NFL, their whole demeanor is like, oh wow, and they're
what
like,
about Manhattan?
Like,
Need any wild shit or anything?
Give us a story.
I mean, the coolest thing for Manhattan was, apparently, according to my wife, I didn't drink a lot, right? 'Cause she was in a sorority. I was like, Jesus Christ, you guys got it in, man. I'm jealous. Like, God dang.
Right.
So I had like my whole week was compacted into one night, like during the fall.
Yeah.
So we had Saturdays was like our one night to go out.
You had to get after it on that
and
night.
it was like,
Well, you like those 11 a.m. games.
oh man, shoot! I was back in my house drinking at 2:30 for the ABC game.
Yeah.
So it was fun. So I mean, so let's say we had 11 o'clock game, right? So we have 11 o'clock and we'd be food at my house. My mom said that I'd be in town. We'd hang out, we'd drink, and we drink at my house till like midnight, right? And then we go out to the bars, and we go to Pat's or whatever. And usually, like someone's dad was there, or somebody was like a fan. Because it sucked being an O lineman pre-Instagram, pre-Twitter days. Because like only like dudes like knew who I was.
Hey, good job today.
Only dudes like chicks that see me like, oh, just a big dude. I like the way you it wasn't like, oh, he's gonna play in NFL when they're the
nice
jersey
job
chasers.
pulling on that one play.
I know, right? Exactly, right.
Took the mic on.
You really pancake that guy.
Yeah, but I just remember like people would come up and they'd be like, hey Nick, I like what you did. I go, okay, cool. And I'm like, hey, okay, cool, good story. Hey, you just go get yourself a drink, put it on my tab. I remember just telling everybody
that can get dangerous,
right?
man, right?
I remember one time like running up in college in the 2000s, running up like an $80 tab at like a $2 drink night or something like that, and it just like I went to tab out at the end of the night and it just.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Disappeared.
Guys are so
Beautiful.
And to me, is the little shit like that.
That
in
sounds
college
like an NCAA violation.
I think we're past the whatever, because if we got what's his face Eric Dickerson talking about that Trans Am,
Right.
so I think we're good. But I never really got hooked up like Johnny Be Good. Like I got meals taken care of, after big wins.
No guy just drove up in a convertible and goes, there's the keys. Nick,
No, man, wasn't like that at all.
How did anyone else out there get into the
Man, I knew.
Elle was kind of a star.
Elle
right?
had to take back Expedition one time because they're like compliance was all
And
over
anyone
that.
just walk up and give you just a bag of money. Like, here,
nobody
this is
gave
the
me money.
You never got a $100
Straight
handshake?
cash,
I
homie?
never got any. I got meals taken care of. I got bar tabs wiped out.
That's better than money.
Yeah, to me that's all.
Did anyone ever do a paper for you, do homework for you? Or say,
No, I was smart, man. I like.
Oh,
do
yeah,
my
you
own
didn't
shit.
need that
I did
shit.
not.
Did you do homework for anyone else?
I did need that.
I let my teammates cheat off me in classes, and we got busted. It was stats.
Oh, did you? What class?
Stats at Fort Riley with Barbara Berry.
Fort Riley, you were at the JUCO?
I legit,
Barb.
I legit,
Barb Berry,
I
don't do that.
loved her, but I did my test like this, so my buddy could cheat off me, and he legit would like the whole thing. Like it was like carbon copy, and like
What's
like
your buddy's name?
You
Barbara
gotta
Berry.
have some differences. in
Yeah,
there.
you gotta slip a
can't have the
different
same
one.
fucking-
Yeah.
She was like, listen, I know you guys are cheating. The highest you can make is a C, but I want to see you study from here on
Right.
out. It's really cool, It could have been a big
could have
whatever.
been. Yeah, you're getting to fail.
But yeah, exactly.
She was cool about
But
it.
no, I didn't live it up. I had some buddies who like lived it up. I don't want to
Write some
their
names down, and we'll just look at them ourselves.
So
Right
okay,
up
so
Yeah,
so
but it was fun. But it was cool because it was like pre-Twitter, pre-whatever. But also my 21st birthday, there was like a picture out there of me with like a full puke stream
Oh boy.
in front of a bar.
Good one.
That if it was Twitter, it would be like, wow.
Yeah.
look at this
Yeah.
But
degenerate.
there's a picture of you in his office at the Playboy All American party.
Yeah.
And no bullshit happened at the Playboy party.
Dude, listen.
You were partying with Kellen Winslow Jr.
Fuck,
Nothing
you're gonna
happened?
tell me nothing happened at the Playboy
fucking
party?
soldiers.
No, man, because it was all a bunch of dudes together hanging out at the pool. We like played pool volleyball. We the coolest thing about the Playboy thing was that we could put anything on the tab.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
You were
Anything.
eating it
So
all
like
up.
we went to this nice hotel and like we're in college and they
Ribeye.
said no Cristal and no Opus One.
No, other than that, you're good.
But I remember someone buying like a couple
Camus?
bottles of Dom P.
Listen, there's a lot of wiggle
whatever.
room in there.
I had cigars. I had a bunch of cigars on my room tab. I ate everything in my hotel mini bar.
I'll eat these fucking
That's a
cashews.
fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I was like $12 Snickers.
I'd like to go in there.
All of
Fucking
them.
do that. That's a
Now,
great way to end
I
this
ate all of
podcast.
them. I ate all of them.
Well, here's what we need. We need
Yeah,
to
exactly.
use that
It
picture
was,
that's in my office for the picture. For
Yeah,
this
he'll
thing.
give you the
For the whatever.
picture.
The real question is,
yeah.
how many razors did it take to shave this freaking bear down to the?
Oh man, to that? No, it's
He's
just a
smoothed
couple
down.
swipes. A couple swipes.
That's it.
I shaved from like the breasts up and the back. So like it'd be like those like goggles. So like I shaved my chest hair I can't.
You
shave
didn't
my
go
belly
nair.
hair.
You didn't go nair. You
No,
went shave.
I just shaved it.
I shaved all this shit with a box,
easier.
man.
Yeah.
It took me like fucking
Nair.
3 hours standing
Guys
on the
down
fucking
the
bathroom.
bed.
Nair that off.
But that was
It was
that
fucking
was
terrible.
fun. That was fun though. It was cool because like guys had a video camera, like
Great big
filming it, you know,
camcorders.
great big filming like the
Full
Document everything.
VHS.
Okay, we've run out of time. I feel like there's unfinished business. Might you come back next week? Can you come back here next week and meet again? And
I am out of town next week.
Well,
I'm gonna
then
be grounded.
I feel like there's some D1 visits and things we can get to.
Oh, the D1
in
NIL
Lebo,
show?
There
working in
feels
the
like there's a
cafeteria in
vibration.
Oklahoma.
There's a
There's
vibration.
something going on here, and it's to be continued with
like
Jake
that.
Gutierrez and Nick Leckie, and
do
of
it.
course Todd Lebo. My name
Boy.
is Stephen St. John. This has been Hot Mic with SSJ. Until next episode, the microphone is off.